Hey guys, it's Captain here with Lionel from Chapman Lionel. And cool, right, well we got a couple of guitars here to show you today from those fine makers of guitars, Epiphone. And these...
Shall I not keep up that premise? I think I'll ditch that premise and just do something different instead.
What have we got here then? We have got...
Well, they're clearly guitars.
We've got some guitars.
Epiphone.
So basically, this is a special tribute to...
Whoa.
Not another punishment, master, please!
Sorry.
We've got some great Epiphone guitars here that are a tribute to a very special year in Gibson's history. So cast your minds back to the year of 1960. It was the year in which Gibson started... changed rather the neck profile on the Les Paul from the sort of fatter profile that you would associate with a 50s Les Paul through to the slimmer profile that you would associate on the neck of a modern Les Paul. And to celebrate that fairly important change in the way a Les Paul was made, Epiphone have done a very limited run of upgraded Les Paul standards, Epiphone Les Paul standards. I'm holding in my hand here the version 1, which is the replica of the guitar, the Les Paul from the beginning of 1960, which has the thicker profile neck. And Lionel here is holding the version 3, which has the slimmer profile. And in the background here, there's another one that you can see in a very pretty Heritage Cherry Sunburst, which is it's basically the same as that, but in another colour. So these are the three models. Stick, our sound man, just asked me what happened to version 2. And there was a version 2, there was an in-between model that Gibson did a tribute of last year, but Epiphone haven't made any of those. They've gone straight from the thick profile neck on the 50s one to the thin profile neck on this one.
Lee, tell me about the top on this guitar.
Well, obviously on a regular Gibson Les Paul standard, it would be two-piece book-matched cut maple top, flame maple top. That's a very expensive timber to buy. Tonally speaking and visually speaking, you can basically replicate the same effect for less by using a genuine solid maple top, but the flaming is on a veneer. So the flaming is a much thinner piece of maple veneer that's then laid over the top of the carved maple. Okay. So you get the visual effect.
You still get maple there on the top,
yeah,
so you get the brightness and the clarity and the treble and tone.
But it doesn't cost as much as when Gibson go out and buy a great big chunky thick piece of flame maple. Probably one of the coolest things here is the hardware on here, or certainly the pickups, are from a Gibson USA Les Paul standard. So
in fact, I was asking Lee earlier, what really is the difference between one of these and a Gibson Les Paul? And the answer is a lot. Well, these are made in China.
Yep.
And some of the hardware is not as expensive or high-end as the American-made Gibson Les Pauls. For example, we think the tuners.
The tuner's a little cheaper. Again, the inlay on one of these is your sort of mother of pearl sort of look-alike, as opposed to genuine abalone or mother of pearl. There's lots of things on it. Lots of people always ask me, how do you justify the fact that a Gibson Les Paul standard is kind of 3 times the price or 4 times the price of an Epiphone? And there isn't any real one thing that you can point at, other than the fact that obviously labour costs in America are much more than they are in the Far East.
But when you play one, you can feel the difference.
It's basically, it's everything is a little bit better. But I think a lot of people do buy Epiphone Les Pauls and mod them up.
Yeah.
So this is typically, I suppose, a popular mod. So to put, the burst bucker humbuckers on there, and you'll very, very quickly achieve a much more authentic sounding Les Paul sound.
To be fair, if you were a gigging guy and you use a Les Paul standard, this is a wicked backup for you because it's half the price. It's got the same pickups. Yeah. Great woods. Still a great guitar.
The tribute ones as well come with a really nice hard case that we'll do a flyover shot of now.
That is pink.
It's got a pink interior, but then so did the Gibson ones. Gibson guitars used to come with brown cases with pink interiors. And it's going to be tough to really kind of get this across on YouTube, but we'll get Rob to play both the larger profile one and the slimmer profile one and do his best to try and explain to you how they're different. Can we do that? Let's go. So we're using our best
awesome amp setup in the entire world
ever, which is running simultaneously through a
Soloist
Blackstar
60,
HD60
Soloist
and
60, and the
Fender
HotRod
HotRod
Deluxe by Fender.
And we got a couple of pedals that we will use. No drive pedals. All the drive is just coming from the amps. We've got a chorus.
Loving the Corona by TC. It's a great sounding chorus.
So we've got a nice chorus and we've got a nice stereo Digitech delay, hardwire delay. But you guys know what a Les Paul does. It's a real go-to guitar for us in these kind of demos.
Machine, that's what it is.
Everything sounds good with a Les Paul. The Burstbucker 1, again on the neck here, has less winds than the Burstbucker 2 on the bridge. So again, more your vintage, Bucker sound, whereas the bridge one will drive the amp a little harder.
Beef Machine.
Every time just makes me like smile. Les Paul, bit of drive. Play this one now and see if you can kind of explain how they feel different and who maybe one neck as opposed to the other might appeal to.
Go!
I think he would approve.
So the main difference in feel between these two guitars is that when you go to bend a note, there's so much more substantial filling in the hand. You don't need to kind of compensate for it by moving quite so much when you bend. There's just guitar there giving you that little push. With the slightly thinner neck, when you come to do some juicy bends, there's nothing in between your hand and the guitar, and for some reason it just feels less comfortable, I think. So for the bluesy bends, personally, fatter neck seems to help me. I don't know why.
But thinner neck, you'd go for...
Well, if you were a skinny wizard shred Ibanez keyboard warrior.
Because I was speaking to a guy the other day who's a real kind of Les Paul aficionado, and he was saying that the fatter the neck on the guitar, the more wood there is to actually resonate, and actually it should give you more sustain. I mean,
it does.
I'm not sure that...
If you get used to a fat neck, you can do all sorts of stuff on it. It just takes a lot of time to kind of get used to the technique of just being, being relaxed using a fat neck. You can still play fast on a fat neck, basically.
Because there's no doubt about it that the thinner neck ones are more popular.
Yes.
I mean, if you because I think most people will find the thinner neck ones, certainly easier to play or feel.
I think the thing
naturally
is,
more
if you've
comfortable to
never
play.
tried a fat neck, your inclination would be to think thinner neck is better. It's not always so. For example, I had a friend of mine come over with a PRS with a wide fat neck, and it just felt awesome. It felt like a super handful of goodness.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like I was missing out on having a thin neck. So, it's just a sort of preference thing.
You just got a little bit of plastic.
Cheers.
There. It's just been. I think was that.
There's one on the other.
I got my Gibson wings.
There's one on this one. Shap has been shredding these so hard the plastic's melting off the pickups here. Let me take these off and make them all shiny. So let me just recap then, because if you want one of these, you're going to have to be pretty quick. Because 1960 special tribute. In total, between the three models, so you've got a choice of the fat neck in Heritage Cherry Sunburst, or the thin neck in Cherry Sunburst, or you've got a thin neck in this Tobacco Burst. They only made 1,960 of them, all three together. So that's not 1,960 each, that's in total of all three. They're basically an Epiphone Les Paul with a solid carved maple top and American pickups on them. They come with a hard case, which we showed you earlier on.
We'll float it over the screen right now again.
Cool. And they sell for $5.99. So
it's worth saying also that 1,960 guitars are being made.
Yeah.
That might sound like a lot. It's really not.
For the whole world.
It's not a lot of guitars.
Yeah.
They'll go fast.
Yeah.
Well, how many are you going to be getting in personally?
We have 10 of each. 10 of each colour. So go to the website, which if you don't know already is here, and our website will show you how many we've got left.
Wanted, dead or alive.